TuneIn, iTunes, already loyalty Stitcher, and of course, 50 plus FM stations across the country and around the world. iHeartRadio as well. 46 minutes out of hour number 3 of our big broadcast. And, this past Monday, well, let's get all the house cleaning out of the way because this is not going to be fun. Thanks to everybody for joining us today. Live as live can get from KJ Radio Studios in Edgerton, Kansas. 2 Central, 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard, and of course 24/7 at JiggyJaguar.com. And apps and Radio Loyalty, our brand new free Droid app is available. JiggyJaguar.us, streaming the show live, 24/7 replay. Exclusive news and information, selected editions will be on iHeartRadio. And of course, plus AM FM stations in the big network. We're 722-JIGGY. On free podcast $5 a month from our website, link on JiggyJaguar.com. 47 minutes after, and this is going to be fun. This is going to be magical, as they say. This past Monday. Well, actually, I got the news Sunday. As you know, we've been repairing relationships and doing things and, figuring things out. This past Monday, Sunday, I was alerted. I was ironically having dinner at Carlos O'Kelly's. Fantastic. I was having a real nice conversation with a few people, and then I got a text or a Facebook message about our longtime camera person, Ninja Larry, Larry D. Trent, or as he liked to refer to himself as Larry D. Trent Sr. Larry had passed away on, I believe, last Friday. Bellator was what we were doing, but Larry passed away. And of course, Larry D. Trent, Ninja Larry, as we used to call him on Jiggy Jag TV. Larry was the guy. He was the guy behind Jiggy Jag TV. I don't want to get too much into it here because this is very difficult for me, because Larry and I linked up on Jiggy Jag TV. I was at Access TV for a thing called Tuesday Night Television, where they brought in the community and they did pizzas and free pop, and you come down, you learn how to produce a TV show. And I was down there and I was talking to a few people, and I was like, I want nothing to do with the cameras. I want nothing to do. Ironically, I want nothing to do with cameras. And I want to produce a TV show, and I want to do it. It's called Jiggy Jag TV because I'm Jiggy Jag. And there was this elderly gentleman there who was mentally handicapped, and he was like, all right, camera. Well, his name was Larry D. Trent, and Larry and I struck up a friendship, and we went all over Central Kansas shooting Jiggy Jag TV. We spent many an evening at the Blue Goat in Salina when the music scene in Salina was hot and our studio, if you're watching this on YouTube, our studio, of course, most of the things that are on our studio wall came as a result of Jiggy Jag TV. Came as a result of me and Ninja Larry going out and doing things. And I have a lot of fond memories of Larry. And last night I had a conversation. And I don't know if it was God, the universe. I don't know who the heck I was talking to, but I was talking to somebody up in the sky. And one of the things that I said that I was glad, I'm glad I didn't. Larry had cancer. Larry had gotten cancer. He beat cancer, and then he got it again. And the thing that I didn't, I wanted to remember my friend in the light that he was Ninja Larry. I wanted to remember him in the light that he was the fun-loving guy. He was the guy that was at the River Festival every day in Salina in the heat. He had put in more volunteer hours than anyone in the history of Salina Community TV. That is a shoot. Because the guy put in a lot of time. And on Monday, he got the word that Larry had officially passed away. I knew Larry had been sick for a while. He hadn't done much. Larry was a casualty of Marsha, who was the embezzling executive director at Community Access Television of Salina, Inc. Larry was a tireless volunteer to that organization, and that's one thing she didn't like was volunteers. I don't know why you would go into an organization and get rid of all the people that made the organization possible. I don't get that. But that's what she did. And as I said on our Facebook page, no words can express how much this sucks. We had a lot of good adventures with Ninja Larry. He was the brains behind Jiggy Jag TV. He was the guy that tirelessly helped edit our shows. He gave me ideas. I loved Larry. Larry and I went up and down the highways and the byways together. And Ross Long and myself had a heck of a relationship with Larry as far as putting the TV show together. And, one thing that Larry loved photography. Larry loved video. Larry loved being out in the community, loved riding his bike. Larry went all over the place. Larry didn't take the greatest care of himself. On several occasions he was in the hospital, but he always took it with good stride, and he was a heck of a guy. And he even helped coin the term gutter snipe to describe one Buffy Embers. Buffykins, if you remember this program, when she lived with me for last year for a few months before she ran off to ruin some other guy's life. Spend another guy's money. Larry loved hanging out with the bands. Larry loved the fact that the bands would call him Ninja Larry. Larry had often told me we need Ninja Larry t-shirts, and he'd even designed it. And he would monitor Access TV. He had 3 TVs set up in his house that were set to each channel, and he had a volume, and if the sound was off or the picture was off, he would call Access. Whoever was on duty, he would call them. He would call Marnie Ryan, who is now the executive director. He was a very good guy, and we're gonna miss Larry D. Saturday is the funeral. We are not going to be doing this program on Friday in observance of Larry. I have some stuff I'm doing in the morning, and then in the afternoon we're not going to do that. I'm going to go through some old Jiggy Jag TV shows that I have. I'm going to do a lot of thinking about Ninja Larry on Friday. So he was a trooper all the way, and he promoted a show one time at the Blue Goat or he didn't promote the show. Tim Dixon promoted the show, and Tim had said that I had gotten there, I think, like a couple minutes later or whatever, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna do the show." And he's like, "Larry's the only one that does any work on this thing." So, but I loved Larry. I hated to see him pass. I knew he'd been sick. One thing that I said last night when I was having my conversation with God or the universe, whichever you want to refer to it as, there's also times where these people say, "Well, I wish I could have said goodbye." Actually, I don't wish I could have said goodbye to Larry. I wanted to be able to remember Larry for being Ninja Larry and being the strong, vibrant little guy that he was. I'm glad that I didn't get to see Larry towards the end. I know that our buddy Ross Long, one of our good friends, one of our mutual friends, Harry Scott Shimp, had cancer and passed away, and Ross got to see Scott that way towards the end, and I think that sort of haunts Ross now. I'm glad that I can remember Larry for being Larry. Monday was a tough day on this program when I heard the news that Larry had passed, and it was probably hour number 2 or hour number 3. We tried to get through it as much as we could, but I'm gonna miss Larry. We're gonna go to the funeral on Saturday. I hope they allow me to speak. I don't think they will, because I'm not his parents' favorite person. Because I used to do things with Larry. We used to get him out of the house. We used to take him places. We used to do things. And his parents have the attitude that no, Larry should stay at the house and do nothing. So, but that is that. 8 minutes after the hour. My good buddy Ross lots up on our Facebook page. He said, "I know Larry was the hardest worker and probably had more some may call developmentally disabled. I saw Larry as more than that. I always knew he was smarter than what others saw him. Larry was just hard to understand, so I made it a point to understand him. He could read, even write, run a computer, work video gear, including cameras. Larry helped out on countless programs and all came through and did quite a job well done." I'm paraphrasing, but his most fun times was on Jiggy Jag TV. So, in honor of Ninja Larry, we will not do our radio program tomorrow. I will innovate on Saturday, and we will do an interview with Tony Mimmel at Astra. And we will be live on Sunday, apparently, from the stream and Radio Xenu. So, look for that. Thanks to everybody. And rest in peace, Ninja. We will see you on the other side, my friend. We got more coming up.